Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lauren Bartling. I haven't said that since like my first video. It's kind of weird, but yeah, I'm Lauren. So in today's video, I always explain the videos, but like you know what they are because you can read the title, see the thumbnail. But yeah, today I'm just going to be talking about like my relationship with anxiety when it deals with Christianity. Hello guys, I am currently editing this video, and I filmed this video like at the end of October. It is currently December 18th. So it's been a while since I filmed that video, obviously, and I just had a few things that I wanted to say that I didn't say in this video, so here I am. Basically, one thing I wanted to say is that a lot of times I felt that in church, some pastors made it seem like anxiety and worry was a choice, that people were choosing to worry and be anxious. And it's like, yo, when you have mental illness, you literally cannot control it. Like, trust me, if it were that easy to like flip a switch, like, don't you think I would? Like, I want to talk about the relationship between Christianity and mental illness because, at least in sermons that I've seen, preachers can often talk about anxiety, but they don't talk about anxiety in the sense of mental illness anxiety. They talk about anxiety as in the thing that everyone has, anxiousness. Everyone gets anxious. Everyone has anxious moments. There's a difference between being anxious and having anxiety. Those are two different things. A lot of people use mental illnesses as adjectives. They'll say, oh, I'm feeling so depressed today, to describe having a bad day. Or they'll say, oh my god, I just had a panic attack, to say that like they just went through something stressful. Some of those things might be true, but people who do not have mental illnesses that say that are increasing the stigma around mental illnesses, because it's making people believe, oh, well, everyone has it. Everyone gets that way. But no, not everyone gets that way. Not everyone has mental illnesses. Everyone has mental health. Everyone, might get sad. Everyone has emotions, but not everyone has mental illnesses. In my experience with church, this has kind of always been something that I have slightly disagreed on, because a lot of times the pastors will just say, oh, you're just anxious. You just need to like pray it away, basically. And trust me, if it was that easy, I wouldn't be struggling. It made me feel like it was my fault, that it was something wrong with me, that something in me needed to be fixed, that I was broken. And it took me a long time to realize that I'm not broken. I don't need to be fixed. It's still taking me time to fully realize that. There are some days where I feel broken and I feel incomplete. And there are days that I struggle with my mental health, and there are days that I'm doing really good. That's the way mental illnesses work. It's not a constant thing. You go through seasons of whatever it might be, of depression, of anxiety, whatever it is. Every mental illness is different. I'm specifically talking about anxiety and panic attacks and depression because that is what I deal with. That is what I have personal experience with. Christians can have mental illnesses. They can have depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, whatever it is. It doesn't, just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you're immune to mental illnesses. Mental illnesses do not discriminate. I know that these people have obviously not done research into mental health issues, because obviously telling someone to, oh, just don't worry about it, or just like, don't stress, it's like that doesn't work. And it's also not helpful. Like, literally there are people out there that are just like, yo, you just need to like remember to breathe and like go outside and exercise and drink more water. And they think that like doing all that is gonna like cure your mental illness. It's like, you know what? Thank you. I'm cured. Like, no, shut up. Ugh, I'm annoyed. There are certain aspects that I appreciate of sermons on anxiety and worry and whatever, but I feel like I have to take them with a grain of salt because I appreciate them and they're nice reminders to remind me when I'm feeling anxious. But at the same time, they made me feel insecure because it made me feel that I was lesser of a Christian because I had these worries and I couldn't control them. Because no matter how hard I tried, I would still have these worries and I would still feel anxious. I would still have panic attacks and stuff like that. So it made me feel like, wow, I must be a terrible Christian because I'm worrying all the time and I'm overthinking these things and I'm having panic attacks and I must not really be a Christian and I must not have faith because I'm worrying and I'm anxious all the time. But it took me a long time to realize that it's not my fault. I can't control it. It is in my brain that there is a chemical that there's not enough of. My body just doesn't produce enough serotonin, so I have to take medicine for that. And there's nothing wrong with that. People have to take medicine for diabetes, for lots of stuff, and that's fine. It's, it's just viewed differently because it's our minds. So people that are struggling with mental illness are viewed as lesser because people think that they can't deal with it. But you know what? It's okay to need help. It's okay to need medicine. It's okay to need therapy. It's okay to need whatever, because that doesn't make you lesser to seek help. It makes you strong, makes you incredibly brave. And there's nothing wrong with having mental illnesses. Absolutely nothing. So many people out there struggle with them. People will always tell you this, whether it's a sermon or a person or whatever. They always tell you, well, just think about somebody who has it worse. Yeah, that's not going to help because, yeah, somebody might have it worse, but that doesn't make my issue any less real to me. Yes, other people out there have it worse. I understand that. I get that. But that doesn't make my issue any less real or valid. And that is something that other people don't seem to get, and I don't know why. And I'm sorry if I'm getting really into this because it is something that I'm so passionate about, because it is something I've struggled with, and it is something that a lot of people around me don't understand. And so if you are a family member or a friend of someone who has any mental illness, I highly recommend that you do research and that you help them. You do research to help them. Because not only will that make them feel incredibly loved and valued, it will help them have a safe place in you. And that is so important. I cannot explain to you how incredibly important that is and how amazing it feels to have someone that you can go to talk to, who understands what you're going through. And, the other thing is, people out there who are struggling with anxiety or mental health issues themselves, you can also do research and educate yourselves on coping mechanisms and things you can do to help you through those anxious moments, or to take these negative thoughts out of your head and put them here and have them and look at them and be like, it's this, to write on it that it's anxiety or it's panic disorder, whatever it is, to be able to categorize it and label it. Not saying that those labels represent you, they don't define you, but it's nice to know that you can look at those things and think, this is why. That there's a reason, that it's not all in your head, and that you're not making it up, and that there's a reason you're feeling these emotions, and you're not crazy. Another thing that annoys me is when people try to compare mental illnesses and say, well, they have it worse than you. Oh, my anxiety is worse. It's not a competition. Yeah, one person's might be worse, but the other person's still real. Another thing is that they obviously talk about in church is why should we worry when we have such a mighty and powerful God who takes care of it all? We should just put our worries on him and let him go. And it's easier said than done. I know there's lots of people who just struggle with worrying and whatever, but as someone who has anxiety, I specifically have generalized anxiety disorder, which means I just constantly worry about basically everything. And then I also have panic disorder. And so for someone with a mental illness of anxiety, it's not easy just to put those thoughts away. For a lot of people, they might worry about it a little bit and be like, okay, whatever, it's irrational, that doesn't matter. For someone with anxiety, they're gonna worry about it constantly until it makes them physically sick, or it makes them unable to sleep at night, or stuff like that. So mental illness is completely different than worrying. Worrying can be a part of mental illness, but mental illness is much more than that. And The reason I find this so important to talk about is because, like I said, obviously I have a mental illness, and that's something I've never really been ashamed to share. It's a part of me. It doesn't define me, but it's a part of me. And that's another thing that has helped me to cope with the realization that I have anxiety, that I have mental illnesses, is that God doesn't make mistakes, and He didn't give me this burden to bear for no reason. He didn't just like be like, oops, why does she have anxiety? I don't know. He gave me anxiety for a reason. And oftentimes what I like to tell people, and what, at least this far in my life, what I've realized, the purpose of my anxiety is that it helps me rely on Him. Because when I feel the weight and the burden of anxiety and stress and worry, I have to rely on Him, because I can't deal with those weights of the world on my own. Whatever God has placed in your life, He has placed in your life for a purpose. Even if it's causing you pain and struggle, it's gonna be worth it in the end, and it's gonna teach you something important, and it's gonna help you in the long run. Like I said, God doesn't make mistakes. He puts everything, every situation, and every person in our life for a purpose and for a greater plan. It took me a long time just to realize that, you know what, yeah, God could take it away, but He also might not. And I'm fine with that either way. You know, yeah, there are some days where I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this. I can't deal with this anymore. But, you know, it's not up to me. It's not my decision what I'm given and what I'm not given. And I have been given this. I have been given mental illness. And yeah, it's not easy to deal with. It's not fun, but it is something that I have to live with. And I definitely fully 100,000% think that I have it in my life, because it keeps me reliant on God. Because definitely when I feel myself straying away and whatever, my anxiety definitely reminds me, like, you know what, nope, you need Him. You cannot walk this life apart from Him, because you will fall and struggle and stress. It's a reality of life for so many people. And so I feel like a lot of churches, I don't think I've ever heard a sermon at any church before that has talked about mental illnesses. And the thing is, they're real. They're not evil. They're not something that's like, it's not a curse or whatever. I don't know. And they're things that lots of people deal with. Mental illnesses do not determine someone's value or faith. I just want anyone out there that's struggling with mental illnesses who is a Christian to know that you are not alone in any of this. I can guarantee you that there are tons of people out there who know and are going through exactly what you are going through. Christians can deal with mental illnesses. It's true, it's real, it's a thing that happens. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing for you to feel lesser of a Christian, or to feel that, you know, you're like broken, or that you need to be fixed or something, because you're not. God made you exactly the way He wanted you to be. And if that's with a mental illness, then that's the way He intended it to be. I'm sorry if at some points I got a little heated and stuff, just because, like I said, you know, I take mental health very seriously, because, like I said, it's been a long journey for healing for me, and I'm still in that journey. The journey never ends. Like I was saying, it is okay to struggle, and it is also okay to seek help when you are struggling, because seeking help, whether that be like talk therapy, or if you know, need to go to a psychiatrist or a doctor for medicine or whatever it is, there's tons of things that can be done to help you cope with whatever you're going through. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you truly know that you are loved and that you are not alone in whatever it is that you are going through and dealing with. And God loves you so much, and He made you on purpose and for a purpose. That was so cheesy. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and I love doing this. subscribe. Also, did you guys even notice my twinkle lights in the background? They changed colors. Pretty cool, huh? I got them on Amazon. Until my next video, bye!